What's up, everybody? Sean the D-Man here, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys are having yourselves a great week, depending on when you're watching this. We are back with another short little video talking about uh, Adam Driver, Kylo Ren. This came out the other week, where he talked about him and I believe a director by the name of, what was his name? Steven Soderbergh, if I said his name right. They came up with an idea to and pitched it to Disney for a Kylo Ren kind of slash um, Ben Solo movie. So let me see if I can. I believe it was Variety that had brought it up. Yeah, it was Variety. All right, so a lot of people are questioning: did Disney fumble the football? Because let's go here. It's kind of annoying. Hold on, let me. Um, there we go. So one of the things that was talked about was this whole thing with the Ben Kenobi, Kylo Ren movie, and it got a lot of fans, kind of interested. So this was from Variety. This was done last week on the 23rd, or like the previous week on the 23rd. Star Wars fans fly plane over Disney Studios with Save the Hunt for Ben Solo banner after Adam Driver reveals rejected Kylo Ren movie. Now Kylo Ren, Adam Driver, I actually liked the character throughout all three films. I really liked the character. There's probably a lot more they could have done with him, but it seemed as if Disney did not have a plan. I think they even brought it up to Kathleen Kennedy, and it's let's see. Um, so let's see. As reported by Collider, a group of Star Wars fans paid for a plane to fly a banner reading "Save the Hunt for Ben Solo" over Walt Disney Studios in Burbank, California. A reporter for the website was on location for the viral stunt and took photos of the banner flying overhead. Get out of here. Driver revealed to Associated Press in an interview published October 20th that he spent 2 years developing a standalone Star Wars movie centered on Ben Solo alongside Steven Soderbergh. The film would have taken place after the events of Rise of Skywalker, according to Driver. Soderbergh worked on the script with his Logan Lucky scribe Rebecca Blunt and longtime collaborator Scott Z. Burns. Driver starred in Soderbergh's Logan Lucky and Burns. Okay. So, I was always interested in doing another Star Wars. Driver told the AP. I had been talking about doing another one since 2021. Kathleen Kennedy had reached out. I always said with a great director and a great story, I'd be there in a second. I love that character and love playing him. Driver loved the Hunt for Ben Solo script, calling it the standard of what a Star Wars movie should be and comparing it to the handmade and character-driven feel of The Empire Strikes Back. The Oscar nominee said Lucasfilm execs Kathleen Kennedy, Dave Filoni, and Kari Beck backed the project until Disney shut it down. So, so that is interesting. I mean, Dave Filoni, Kathleen Kennedy, they backed this idea of a Ben Solo movie. I think a lot of fans would have really enjoyed that as well. Like I said, I enjoyed Kylo Ren. I thought he was probably one of the better things that came out of the sequel trilogy of movies. Um, but obviously, apparently to Disney, they did not. The problem with Disney Star Wars is they really didn't have a plan. They just saw Star Wars as an IP for money making. That's basically what they were. That's basically what it was to them. It's just a thing that makes money. They don't have the care, they don't have the passion for this, and this is why Star Wars has suffered really a good bit over the years during this time. So When presented the script to Lucasfilm, they loved the idea, Driver recalled. They totally understood our angle and why we were doing it. We took it to Bob Iger and Alan Bergman, and they said no. They didn't see how Ben Solo was alive, and that was that. Driver's interview sent Star Wars fans into a tizzy, not only because Ben Solo is a fan favorite character, but also because the Star Wars movie franchise has floundered over the years since The Rise of Skywalker, with many titles stalled the later scripts. So you got to keep in mind there was a Rogue Squadron, uh, the Ray movie that seems to can't get off its feet. The Ray movie. Um, Now we do have the Mandalorian and Grogu and Star Wars Starfighter coming out 2026 and 2027. But there's like a whole laundry list of different directors and people who have tried to do a Star Wars movie and it just either got scrapped or it has not gone anywhere. So because like we have not had a Star Wars film since the Rise of Skywalker. So I really enjoyed making the movie. In my head, I'm just sorry the fans won't get to see it. Soderbergh told the AP about the hunt for Ben Solo, with Driver adding that it was one of the coolest scripts I had ever been a part of. The Star Wars franchise finally returns to the big screen next year with the release of Mandalorian and Grogu, a big screen continuation of the popular TV series, The Mandalorian. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like as popular now. Like, people still like the first season and maybe even season two, but then once you get into season three, you're kind of like, um, it starts to get a little not iffy with it, but just kind of like there was just some stuff I didn't like in season three of The Mandalorian, but needless to say, the idea sounds very cool. Adam Driver is a really good actor. Like that's a clear moneymaker for you right there. But Disney says no to it, and it's utterly ridiculous on why you wouldn't. Like, look, they're just like, well, we don't see how he could have survived. Now, obviously, at the end of the Rise of Skywalker, he does the Force life transition, or I guess whatever the proper term of it is. He does that, reviving Rey, and then he fades into the Force. There's ways you could probably play around with it to bring him back, whether it's the world between worlds, which is stroke people's ires as well as something being a part of Star Wars that Dave Filoni has introduced, or you just kind of find a way to bring him back. I don't know. I think would have been cool if you had done that is if you have Kylo Ren, um, no, or Ben Solo. Like you kind of like I know he kind of went back to Ben Solo in the Rise of Skywalker, but I think it would have been interesting if like the hunt for Ben Solo throughout that entire film, he is battling himself. Who is he trying to be? Is he trying to be Kylo Ren, or is he trying to be Ben Solo? And that's just something that would have been a theme that played throughout the movie, and then ultimately, you could have done a conquering your own demon of sorts kind of resolution to the ending of the film. But I mean, we won't know unless they do decide at some point. Yeah, you know what? Let's do this. Yeah, but I don't know if that will happen. That's the thing, because the way Disney is run, or at least from the Star Wars standpoint of Disney is being run, you're more than likely not going to get anything like that. Like, it was a clear moneymaker right there, a clear moneymaker, and you're just like, no. So it's just utterly ridiculous on why you just don't make that movie. And so it got a lot of pretty much a lot of fans on both sides of the spectrum. Um, Whether you're Disney Shield or whatever, talking and like, hey, why didn't you do this? And so who knows? who knows? And that, but next Star Wars movie is going to be The Mandalorian and Grogu, dropping next year. And then after that, The Last Starfighter. You could have even done something that it, well, I mean, he did say it would take place directly after The Rise of Skywalker. You could have done something that somehow brought him back into that movie or something. So, and Disney has not treated the actors, the certain actors, as well as they should have been. Like, I mean, like, look at John Boyega. A lot of people were upset, not because oh, people will make it about race, and that had nothing to do with it. People were upset because John Boyega was propped up to look like he was gonna be like the new Jedi of the series, and he had the more interesting character development within that series as well. You know, he was a stormtrooper. Now he's a resistance fighter turned Jedi. That would have been a more interesting story than what we got with Rey, but it is what it is for the most part. But yeah, it's interesting. I don't know if we'll ever, we'll see it. I doubt we'll see it, but just Disney fumbling the bag. That's what Disney tends to do. But guys, that is relatively it. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching. Just wanted to give my 2 cents on it. If you're new to the channel, be sure you hit that like and subscribe button, comment below. But I will see you guys in the next video. Y'all have a good one.